My name is Kendall and I'm an instructor at Refine 31. So my first bar experience was about 8 years ago. I took my very first class, and from the minute I took my first class, I was hooked. I knew there was going to be one day I had to teach. So I've had a few opportunities through those 8 years to be an instructor, but it just never was the right time for whatever reason, whether it was my current job or being pregnant or being a new mom. It just never worked out until Becca and Refine 31 came along. I knew it was just the perfect fit. And I see now why it was that God placed Refine 31 and the opportunity to be an instructor in my life at just the perfect time. In April 2015, my dad was diagnosed with idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. And God had a certain plan in place that I was going to be surrounded with a community of women and other instructors that would get me through one of the hardest seasons of my life. 2 months before the studio opened, when I'd already committed to being an instructor here, my dad took a turn for the worst and has really had been going downhill for those couple of months. And it was on November 23rd, 2 days before Thanksgiving, that my dad passed away. I was back to teaching just 2 days later after he passed, and it was the community of women and the joy that teaching brings that brought me back here and that kept me going. And so I'm just so thankful for that opportunity of being an instructor, because if I didn't have this and if God hadn't given me this opportunity to be an instructor, I wouldn't have been able to get through some of the hardest days I've had. So I am inspired every day when I come here, and even though some of our members think that they're doing something or I'm doing something for them, which I'm happy to give them the gift and instruct them, they're actually encouraging me, because them coming here every day with a smile on their face, getting ready to just get through a new workout or a new position on the bar or a new song in the cycle class, they leave me encouraged to start my day with the little pieces of encouragement that we read to our members at the end of every class. Really speaks to them, and it speaks to me too. And if I can bring them that simple joy through the day, it's so great. My hope for everyone this holiday season is just to remember the joy and the blessing and the gifts that God has given us. We are so incredibly blessed by His love and that He sent His Son for us. And during this holiday season, as my family and I go through our first season and first holiday without my dad, we're going to be joyful and thankful that my dad is now home in heaven. And so it's my hope for our members that they feel that joy and they spend this holiday season with loved ones and just remember the promise of heaven and the promise that Jesus is life and He is hope and our future, because we will see our loved ones again one day and we will just rejoice with them. There was one day I was taking class, I wasn't instructing this morning, and some of these verses at the end of class really speak to us, and this one specifically really spoke to me and just made me think about my dad. And it was from Jesus Calling, and it said, "Talk with me about whatever is on your mind, seeking my perspective on the situation rather than trying to fix everything that comes to your attention. Ask me how to show you what's truly important. Remember that you are en route to heaven, and let your problems fade into the light of eternity." And it's so true. We are all en route to heaven, and it's just so joyful and so hopeful during the holiday season. So I wish you all a very Merry Christmas.